Okay, I got another little clippy for you guys here. More snakes are pipping, so let's check it out. So first and foremost, we actually have our children's python. You might have remembered our little video about these guys laying eggs. And well, the time has come. They laid on July 7th. It's now September 2nd. And we have little slits in the eggs, well, in a couple of them. Well, you can see some movement out of this one here. Let's see if we can get in a little closer. There we go. So there's a little fella in here. He's pipped on his own. His head was out a second ago, but he's a little bit shy. We have another one here. That one's pipped on its own, probably picked up on the commotion over here. And then we got a few more to go. These guys, they're not quite coming out yet. I'm just going to give them little tappies, let them know, hey, it's time. Wakey, wakey. Eggs and bakey. But nothing yet. I'll give these guys another night, let them pip on their own. And then we'll cut what's left over open, because sometimes these guys don't develop an egg tooth correctly. And when that happens, well, you got to cut the egg open for them, otherwise they'll drown in there. And that's what we're about to do with this one. We got some ball python eggs here. Let's see, in June 28th these guys were laid. So we have an albino spider, was bred to a leopard. A spider is an incomplete dominant trait, so we should have some spider babies. As is leopard. Well, leopard's actually dominant, so we'll definitely have leopard. Now, albino's recessive, so none of these babies should look albino, but they will carry the trait. Let's see here. So this little fella, he pipped yesterday, had his little head out. But it's been 24 hours since then, and Clyde, Pac-Man, Pinky, and Inky still haven't come out on their own yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a handy-dandy X-Acto knife, and I'm going to try do this with one hand here. Oh, well that was easy. These are nice thin shells, so the goop coming out is nice and clear. That's always a good sign. If it's cloudy, you might have problems. Now there's a little speckle of blood in there. That's to be expected. That's normal. There's little veins running on the inside of these shells. And, well, those will get cut open a little bit when they pip. So we've got Clyde open. Let's see if we can open this flap, get an idea of what we have in there. Oh. Oh. Well, that's really cool. This is, oh, thank you. The boss lady's taking the camera from me. I'm going to open this just a little more so we can get a closer look. Excited to see this guy come out. This looks like, I mean, a spider leopard at the least, do you think? So that's very nice, and that'll be het for albino. It's definitely not albino. You can see there's a lot of melanin where the black marks are there. I'm kind of in the way, but you can see that there. So that's really cool. Excited for that to come out. This guy, well, we've already seen his head come out of the egg. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm just going to make that slit a little bigger so it's easier for him to find his way. And we'll take a little look-see. I mean, that one's a spider at the very least. So, I mean, let's see. I think that might be leopard too. But we'll take a look. So Pac-Man's up next. Let's give that a little slit. This is a nice new razor, so it cuts like a hot knife through butter. Open that up. A little bit on this side, so we got our little view. And how about that, actually? We got ourselves what looks like another leopard spider. So far, possibly 3 for 3. We're getting really good odds in this clutch. I'm actually just going to take my finger, give this guy a little poke. Yeah, he's responding. That's great. We just do that to make sure they're still okay in there. I want to make sure that guy's not drowned in the embryonic fluid. So now we're on to Pinky. We're going to do the same thing. Nice goop coming out. There we go. Keep that little flap going. I always want to hold this razor at a really shallow angle because, of course, I don't want to cut the snake open. I'm just going for the eggshell. Where are we going, Pinky? I'm a little shaky. I haven't had coffee for at least 45 minutes. Oh, there we go. Finally something different. This looks like it's going to be a leopard ball python. So that's nice. No spider in that one. But we got Leo. This one here is a bit of a funny angle, Mr. Inky. Let's cut him open. There we go. Actually not hitting any veins in this one. That's... oh, there it is. To be expected. And we'll get the other side here. Give that a little... boop, 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 boop. Okay, we got another leopard spider by the looks of it, but we'll see tomorrow. We'll check in on these guys and we'll see, get a better look at them. And here we are. It is the next day and we're going to check on these children's pythons again. Looks like we got some action going here. So let's take a look around at all of our eggs. This guy has now, he's still just pipped. Little fella's still in there. These two, well, they're all the way out. Good for them. Happy to see that. We have another little pip here. Another pip here. This guy's starting. And this guy has not pipped yet. Now, it's been our 24 hours again. So we're just going to help this little last one out here. I'll be right back. I just got to grab my handy dandy egg pipping device. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's pop back on over. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this one's coming along nicely, but it's a very small little pip. So I'm just gonna help him a wee bit. There we go. That'll get him moving along. And this last egg here, we'll just make a little slit in there for him. Nice clear goop still, so we're just going to let him do the rest. But let's check out our babies. The two right out of the egg. So these are a children's python. These are named after the guy who discovered them, John George Childrens. And they are very small pythons. This makes them quite desirable, actually, because I mean, smaller animals require less space in the home, generally speaking. And they have all these nice little spots on them. These will actually fade with age, whereas on the spotted pythons, which are another Antaresia closely related to these, those spots will sort of stay, but... come on, camera, focus for me. There we go. There he is, adorable. Yeah, they'll sort of brown out. I think you may have seen the folks in one of the past videos. So lovely. We got a couple little guys here. Well, or gals. I don't know. Haven't checked yet. That's for later. Very nice. So I'll pop those guys back in the incubator so they can carry on doing the whole being born thing. And we're back to our ball pythons from yesterday. Let's see how we made out. Nobody's out of the egg yet. But we do have a little nose here. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Ooh. Hello, little baby. How you doing? Definitely a spider leopard, that one. Beautiful reduction of the pattern. So that's super exciting. And we'll just go around again, just give them all the little poke test. Definitely got good vitals there. Oh yeah, that guy's responding to me. There's a little nose. And this fella here, he's still way down in the egg, so he's still working on absorbing some yolk, but very responsive, which is what we like to see. And then of course there's Miss Pinky here, who I think is the one who is potentially just leopard. Of course, all of these will be albino, because one of the parents was a visual albino, so all the offspring will inherit that trait, but none of them will show it, because the other parent doesn't carry that trait. So those guys are doing well, not out yet. We'll check back on them in a couple days. And I noticed in there we have yet another clutch pipping, so this is an interesting one. This is a yellow belly, which, I mean, nothing too crazy until you combo it with some other stuff. You can get some really nice things out of that. And then we have Miss Summer. Now, Miss Summer is a normal, and she looked the same for, well, a long time, for 10 or 11 years. And then when she ovulated this year, she brightened up in color, which isn't abnormal. Those hormonal changes will cause them to lighten or darken. but she really brightened up. In one shed, she looked like a whole different snake, which was kind of odd and probably not genetic, probably just hormonal, but those colors haven't gone away yet, so kind of interesting anyways. But we see these guys are working their way out. I see a little nose there. Oh, now I don't. It's gone. Hey, little baby. But these should all just be yellow bellies, and I mean, you never know. Every now and then you find out, oh wow, this thing's been hiding something on us all this time. Now these guys just pipped this morning and it hasn't been 24 hours yet, so I'm not actually going to cut these 2 eggs yet. We'll pop onto that next time and see what we get coming out of there, but I expect just some normals, just some yellow bellies, and that should be all we get out of that. But this one's quite exciting. Some nice new combos in there. And of course the children's python. And we're back again. The snakes have really started to come out of their eggs, so let's get a closer look here. These are of course the children's pythons. And they're doing quite well. I'm just having some focusing issues. There we go. So let's see here. We got 1, we got 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means that this fella's still in the egg, and that fella's still in the egg, although that's not looking so hot, so we'll see what happens there. Now this is one of the reasons that reptiles have so many babies, is that in the wild they're not all going to make it into adulthood. But let's take a look, see? Open this up just a smidgy more. Hey little fella, looks like that one's doing okay. Doesn't pick up on the camera so well. What are you doing? Back off. This is sharp. Thank you. That one will open just a smidgy. Oh, excuse me. That one will open just a smidgy more as well. Oh no, he's still responsive. He looks okay in there. Excellent. We like that. So let's close that one up. Let's save that one to the end because it's cool. And we'll go on to this one next. These guys are coming out now, so I mean more or less what we expected. This one right here, that's just your good old wild type ball python. You go to West Africa and you look around for ball pythons, that's what you find. That's just how they look in the oh, sorry buddy. That's just how they look in the wild. And then this one right here is a yellow belly. So a very minor mutation. It doesn't change a great deal, but I'm actually really fond of how he's come out. I really like the bold black down the back there. That's super cool actually. But I mean, yellow belly, well, it pretty much does what's in the name. It brightens up under here a little bit. It's a brightness morph, I guess, but he's a really clean one. He's really cool actually. I'm quite a fan of that. And then this little sleepyhead in here, he's still in the egg, but he's responding to the touch, which is good. And now, well, it's been 24 hours, and this guy still hasn't pipped, so let's do the thing that we do with the little razor here and pop her open. Nice, healthy goop. Like that. Come on, little fella. I think I mentioned this already, but a little bit of blood is normal when cutting these open, as there's little veins and arteries that run on the inside of the eggshell there. That doesn't hurt this snake, though. In fact, if I didn't do this, he might not come out of the egg at all. There we go. Let's take a little look-see here. Oh, looks like another yellow belly in there. That's pretty nifty. But let's just give him a little poke, 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 poke. Yeah, he's nice and responsive in there, so that's good. We'll leave him to come out at his own time. And we'll just check on this guy here. Open him up just a little smidgy-widgy more here. Beautiful. That one, oh, good and responsive. Yep, like he was still in the egg. That's what we're looking for. That one could be a yellow belly. Hard to say. We'll have to wait for that to come out. And the exciting one. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Me likey. Me likey quite a bit. So that one's obviously not a spider or a leopard. Oh, it could be a leopard actually. I'm fibbing actually with the way its head looks there. It probably is, so that's kind of fun. We'll just wait for that guy to come out. He's just getting a bit of a slow start, isn't he? And then we'll check on this one here. Oh yeah, he's looking good. Little nose poking out. We'll let him come out on his own time. He has all the access in the world. There's not even any yolk left in there. He's absorbed it all. He's just feeling cozy, I suppose. And here we go. Here's where it's at. So we have a couple leopard spiders there. That one there, that's just a normal single gene spider. Gonna be het albino. So this is a pattern reduction morph that just really reduces the dark colors and brings out the light ones. And it's a pretty cool little gene. Here we go. Let's look at our little flagships here. I'm quite happy with these. These are very beautiful little snakes. So the leopard is also a pattern effective morph. It works in a similar way to spider, in which it kind of strings out and stretches out their pattern. And it's kind of a subtle morph. The untrained eye would have a hard time picking it up, but it's not crazy subtle. It's still very evident. When you mix it with spider, of course, it's two of the same effect happening in the same animal, so you get an exasperation of that effect. And he's just the cutest thing. Look at that little face. Very exciting. And this one's even brighter, actually. Now, this is just what we call polygenics. It's the same mutations are at play here, but in some individuals, you'll have variation in brightness of color and shape of pattern. You see this the most in normals. I mean, all morphs ultimately came from normal wild-type ball pythons, with the odd one popping up here and there on imports, of course, but really, really pretty little baby. Really high yellow on really dark black. So what I want to do with this one day is hold back one of these females and add a trait called Orange Dream to this, and that does more or less what you'd think. It brings in a lot of orangey colors up the sides, and on its own it doesn't really look like much. It can be easy to miss and mistake for a normal, but when you add it to a really light yellow snake like this, it really, really pops. And it's another to some degree a pattern reducing morph, so it'll really add to this effect as well. I'm super excited for that. And of course this is het albino, and I'm pretty sure I have an Orange Dream het albino here, so great potential there. We could get visual albino, spider, leopard, Orange Dream ball pythons, and those would be just out of this world. Now, personally, I prefer to look without the albino, but it is a desirable trait for a lot of people. It's just not my favorite per se, but no, I'm really happy with these. They're healthy, awesome little snakes, and I'm excited to get these guys moving forward here separated and eating, and then well, about most of these snakes are going to go up for sale, like all the children's pythons for sure, but we're gonna hold back maybe one of these guys, and I don't know, maybe even that funky yellow belly from the first one. Honestly, probably not. We've got a lot of funky normals this year. Like we got some with paradoxing and stuff, so I don't want to hold back too much stuff. Can't keep them all. Gotta sell some. But that's it. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed that little sneak peek into some snakes that we've hatched out here this season. There'll be a bit more content like this to follow. We're at the end of our season, but next year we'll document and upload a lot more of our breeding plans and our hatching out. So if you are into that sort of thing, like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment on the video. The algorithm really likes that sort of thing. And if you really like this sort of thing, well, consider checking out our other videos. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.